ferocious blaze has left a Novar Gardens Housing Trust community on edge.
Residents ran for their lives when the unit exploded in a fireball.
People went in there and lived in there, wrecked it, filled it full of crap, and then last night torched it.
Alrighty, so I'm out in Novar Gardens today. There's a fair few complexes out around here and a lot of vacancies. Just coming through again like usual, get the vibe of the area, see if anyone's out and about, want to have a yarn, and we'll just be running it. There's about 3 complexes out here that I'm going to be running through today. There's a bit to unpack in this episode, but yeah, just going to be cutting through this first block, and then there's a few other complexes that we're going to go check out. Wouldn't be a bad spot to get this front row here. Get one of these front row houses, right for the golf. What an odd place to have a carport. I'd say that this is probably one of the larger complexes here in Novar Gardens. A whole variety of different style units in through here, but it's a pretty decent sized complex. Yeah, so as you can see, like this complex goes in way deep over here, but then on this side you got the cream builds. So you got one half of this complex over here with cream builds, one half of it with red builds. And there's meant to be a fair bit of vacant properties in through here. So apparently there was like a whole row of them. They got burnt down or something like that. Petrol bombed or some shit. Put some context of what happened there up here in an article. The creamy builds out over there.
People went in there and lived in there, wrecked it, filled it full of crap, and then last night torched it. I want out. All right, I want out of here. Okay. I've been trying for 7 years. When you're moving here, you don't get moved out because it's crack heaven. And then you've got all the drop-ins that come that don't leave. All right? We're overrun by them.
And so as well, like a lot of the time when you come from these blocks, live in the blocks, you normally got like your family side and your prison side as referred to. It's not just prison, but it's what it's normally referred to. So just by looking, I'd say this is probably the family side over here. Just has a little bit more of a different energy than this side. And as you can see here, got the single ones and then they gradually go up. So you got the 2-story ones down over there. So I reckon we'll start with this side of the complex and then we'll go over to this side over here. And then further down this road, you got another set of complexes. So we'll go in there afterwards. Just gonna have to do a little walk around over here. Got some kids out playing in their front yard down there. I don't particularly like getting the kids on camera. I don't really particularly like getting anyone on camera that doesn't want to be, especially kids. Yeah, so I don't think this is one of the ones with petrol bomb, because the ones that were petrol bomb were on like on a row of houses. There was about 4 of them too, so there's just so many vacant properties around Adelaide. It's crazy. Like, and you can always find, coming to these housing blocks, that you're gonna find like a dozen of these empty places. Imagine you got to drive down this road, this long ass fucking road, to get in your carport there. That's the second time in a row that I've seen that. Yeah, so the headline for this particular block that we just went through there was residents too fearful to come out for roaming pit bulls, bikies and crime. See, it's not just me. Anyone that comes from these areas know that you got the type of breed of dog you don't want to have run-ins with, normally just roaming around the fucking joint. And a lot of the time they're not trained either. So you got these powerful, normally territorial dogs with no training end up getting around, and then you have a run-in and mate, you can end up fucked up. So I'm more worried about, like I've said in my first episodes, stray dogs and magpies. Like, they're my biggest concerns when coming through to film for these episodes. Magpies and stray dogs, man. So I just thought I'd walk down this little road here from that complex up here to get around the front, the second half of this complex. Little alleyway in here. So I'm not expecting to see too much, but you know, like, it is what it is. I've had a lot of requests for Novar Gardens, a lot of requests that I actually kept knocking back and telling people that the area wasn't, you know, notorious enough for me to come through. But there are a few complexes in through here, so might as well come through and show yous so I can tick that one off the list, because just trying to do the best I can. And then as you can see, so start of this road here, we had that first complex, and then tucked in over here though, we got the second half of that complex. And then in front of me we got a reserve, and over the other side of that reserve is another complex. You see, so now we got another complex, and I reckon this is actually the complex where the firebombing went on.
A ferocious blaze has left a Novar Gardens Housing Trust community on edge, with residents begging to be relocated amid a spate of arson attacks.
Residents ran for their lives when the unit exploded in a fireball. Next door, a grandmother, whose son and 2 grandchildren were having dinner when they realised the duplex was ablaze.
He's got his kids, told his mum, let's get out of here, grabbed what they could and got out.
At one point, they went back inside the burning building. It's the latest in a string of arson attacks at the Housing Trust complex.
I can't believe this. I'm sick of this shit.
Last week, 2 more units were destroyed just around the corner on Montreal Avenue in a huge fireball. Residents here say they're living in fear and believe the arsonist could strike again at any time.
Whose places are going to be next?
Because I can see right away that there's a row of vacants there. Over there, that's the second half of that complex that we're just in. And then you got the other side here on the other side of the road, another one. Another vacant there. So we didn't have to go too far to get to the next complex. Really shits me seeing so many of these joints fucking boarded up. I wonder if this was the side that had the fucking pitties. And as most people that live in these complexes know, you know, walking through is one thing, but living here is a whole nother ball game. You're never gonna get the full context of what these blocks are like by me just walking through. You physically have to live here to understand it. Another one, cuz. And they're not even connected. They're like one there, one there, one there. So that's 4 within 30 seconds of walking there. Number 5, number 6. It's like someone's come through and just tried to burn down as many joints as they could. I'm going in. I don't want the roof to collapse on me. And then the joint next door looks like it's been affected as well. Yep. Someone's backyard. Yeah, so this complex is right over the road from the other complex, which is quite large. This complex is pretty large too. So our first complex was the Livingstone block, and then I'm not sure what this one is. But yeah, I can see like 58, 48, 51. There's at least 50 in here. And we have found 6 burned down. Still got a whole nother like chunk of this block to go suss out. I reckon I got a feeling there'll be some more of these. See, and you wouldn't think it either. Just walking by, just driving by or walking by from, you know, the outside perspective looking in, you wouldn't think there'd be anything really happening in through here. Like it wouldn't be that hectic or be that bad, but empty and burnt out fucking joints all over. And another, so that's 7 out of 50. That's like almost 20%. So if there's 52 units and then 7 burnout joints, that's almost 20% vacant. Lucky 13. A decent sized backyard. It's bigger than the backyards you get in these new builds. Extended fence. Probably stop the dog jumping over. Oh, that was a solid 7. So if you look at it like that, there being 52 odd joints, 7, that's almost 20% of the houses here burnt out. And that's fucking crazy. So right over the other side of the road here, we got the second half of the complex we've come in off, the beginning of the episode. The side that I referred to as the family side. And I only say that because people living in these blocks, who come from these blocks, they will refer to the side of the block they're on as either the prison side or the family side. The prison side doesn't mean that everybody over there is from prison. It just is a way of, you know, there will be people from prison, but it'd be a way of saying that it's the more hectic side, and then they have the other side where they try and put the family. So they try not to mix them, even though they're in the same complex. They try to keep it like people who cause trouble and prior residents will get one side, and then people will have families and whatnot will have the other. So it's all fenced in along here. You got to walk up a little bit to get in. So just doing the trek up. So this section now that we're coming in is the second half of the first complex that we rolled up in. I'm not expecting too much from this side, so it'll be probably a quick walkthrough. Yeah, it looks nice, man. Another park. Another little reserve there. See, that's good. I like that. You know, it gives the kids an opportunity to come out and have somewhere nice to play at least. Yeah, nah. So all this side looks pretty tame. I'd say that this is all pretty looks like it's got some elderly that's in here, and that's all there is to this side. Cut through over there, and that's it. Look at him. Thinks he's king of the block. So as you can see, just driving in through here, even there is a lot of complexes out here. This is a heavily dense housing trust section of the area, but we're only focused on 3 main blocks. So one over here, through that, and over the other side there's a complex of shops that we're going to go to as well. There's another one here, but more for oldies. So we're not going to worry too much about going in through there. So we're just going to go head over the road here to this last complex. Not the last of the only 3, because there's like multiples all through this area. As you can see on the drive in, it's the whole area is like this here. So again, you've got this side, that complex, and then this side you got this one. This is what we're going to here today. And it goes all the way down there, all the way over there. Another vacant here. Looked like this one was vacant, was it? So straight off the bat, there's 2. Like I said, like that's every time you come into these areas and you go into the housing trust sections, dozens of empty joints. Like it doesn't even look like there's anything wrong with this one here. I don't, you know what I mean? So we'll come back down this way after, because I want to head down to the beginning of it, down here, and then do a walkthrough. And again, on the other side there, I used to have a friend that lived in this area, so I know this complex pretty well. Yeah, so all singular ones are out along here. I'm just taking this road down and around out to the front of the complex itself. I'm going to cut through the way that we used to when I was young, over into the shopping complex that's there. They got a chip shop there, so we're going to go there and grab a feed, do a little review on that. Just while we're here in this part of the area, showing you around, you can see this whole, most of it is housing trust complexes out here. So, or fucking cop a Maggie to the head. Look at him. You think I'm playing? Look at them, mate. Really, cuz? Look at him, bro. Not even moving. Look at him. You think I'm playing when I'm talking about the Maggies, man? Look at him. Full stare down. Yeah, half ones, 1 story, 2 story. And again, one thing I like about this area is all the blocks, any block you go to in this area has a really nice reserve pretty much connected to it, which I really like the idea of that. You got kids living here, get the opportunity to actually have a nice little spot here to play, and even for the olders, you know, come out here and have a feed. It's not like out south where everything's just fucking brown and dead. But yeah, so that's part of it. Again, we just walk through because I like to do my content organic. And like I said, if people come out and they talk, they do. But I like to go through an area, a block, wherever I am on a regular day and just show you what it is on a regular day. I don't try to make it more than what it is. And if anything, I downplay it. That's part of it. But this whole area that we're in, this part of Novar Gardens, is a heavily housing area. So anyway, we'll cut through over here, and that's going to take us over into the it's like a little, there's an IGA there, or a Foodland, I think it's RGA, chip shop, a couple other little businesses. So we'll go grab a feed. I'll do a part of a review for this episode, and I'll have the full one up for my new series, Bite Off the Block. So that's where we just come out from over there, and you just walk out right here, this building, this red building here. So the RGA. Bit of a review for the EP, and then we'll go finish off the last section of the area that I want to show you, and then we'll wrap it up. They might be closed. feed. So if you're in the area, you're stopping through, go check them out for a feed. We'll go suss out this last part of the area. We're pretty much done with today. We're pretty much wrapped up what we had to do for today. So if we just go suss out this last section of the block, then we'll be done. So this has been Novar Gardens, and I refused to come to Novar Gardens for so long, and then just was like, I seen a few headlines that had popped up in my feed, and I thought, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'll come out and check it out. I know the area, and I don't know if it's just because when I know an area, I feel like it's not as hectic, you know, kind of thing, because I've been there, I know the spots, whatever. But this situation, I thought, nah, you know what? I'll come out, have a suss, like usual, get a feel for the area, try and get a vibe of what the area is like, have a little cut through, see if there's any more of these boarded up joints there, and then wrap it up for the day. I don't know if I want to go check that one out over there. I can see right there, bang, vacancy over there. So that's the back of the chip shop we just at, where Sean's at. Good bloke over in there. Yeah, so not much to this complex over here anyway, but foyer type joint. Smells like mothballs in here, cuz. Not too much to show in here anyway, but this lighting. Yeah, pops the light on, clicks it off. You're right. Well, that's that anyway. So you just got that fella up over here. Looks like he might be setting up shop in that little laundry bit there. But alright, so this is only part of this complex. So it runs down, so you got the 2 stories, then it runs over to the half ones, then you got the little reserve which goes into the next block, and then all surrounding it you've got these kind of mini complexes, and then you've just got standalone half housing trust houses. So from in here off Morford Road here onto this street, you've got predominantly, I would say, an easy 60-70% housing. So easy, really concentrating here. We'll board it up. See, I've noticed they've started using these instead of wood. Now what I reckon I might do is cut around. What the fuck? Hey, is this your joint? Did you live here? You did? What happened? What happened here? Oh, don't have to worry about me or nothing. I just come into the areas and I get a bit of context on with the housing situations and shit, especially with these vacants when they get boarded up and left. Is this all your stuff?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, right. Did housing trusts throw you shit like this?
I leave now. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't care. So you're right. I'm not trying to block you in or nothing. Oh, I thought if you lived here, if this was all your stuff.
I clean up now.
You're cleaning
No
it up?
worry. No worry.
All right. No worries. I think she thought I was trying to get her in trouble, man. And I got another vacant one just here. Bit of a language barrier, I think, sometimes. And, you know, when I realise, I just take a step back. Bit of vacant one there. Yeah, she probably thinks I'm here I'm trying to get her in trouble or something. You know, I just wanted to ask, like, if that was her house and she's had all that shit thrown out like that, that's fucking ridiculous. But a bit of a language barrier. I don't think she really understood what I was saying anyway, so there's no point just standing there. I think she felt a little bit unsafe with me. I was just sort of standing there in the doorway and realised, so I stepped back out. Something that shits me, mate. I'm sick of seeing fucking people's whole lives get thrown out in the fucking street. I know how that feels, so when I see it, it fucking makes me feel a certain type of a way. But anyway, we're pretty much done now with Novar Gardens. Of course, there's more I could go through and show, but it would just sort of start getting a bit repetitive. Like I said, you know, this concentrated area, you've got private houses, you've got owned homes in here, but this particular section that we're in is easy 70-80% housing, and then it's always contrasted, man, you know what I mean? So it's all housing, and then you get these little pockets like this, and see how it's off of the road here? So they're real clever with that. The way that they design these areas, they design them in a way where these housing trust concentrates are almost hidden, you know what I mean? And then locals who are from the area, but maybe not from that side of the fence, won't go in and walking around through there. So unless you're familiar with it, you wouldn't know. And then the same with like the few blocks we went past before. From the outside looking in, it doesn't look like much, you know, it looks nice. You can only get so much context by me just coming and walking through. Like, you will never fully understand what it is like unless you physically living in these blocks. So I do the best that I can, and it's often watered down out of respect for people and where they live. But yeah, man, like, I've lost track of how many vacants we've seen today. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so this has been Novar Gardens. Anyway, until we catch you on the next one, I'm gonna be trying to be more consistent with my uploads, doing at least 1 to a week. Most Notorious EPs will be every single Friday at 6 p.m. and Bite Off the Block will be every single Monday at 6 p.m. So till next one, we'll catch you then.